This is my 1944 Farmall M tractor. I've had this for probably about 15 years or so. It was a pulling tractor in a previous life. I recently, I think it was maybe 2 years ago, I rebuilt the engine in it. Had a lot of blow-bys, smoking pretty good. Just was wore out, so we rebuilt it. We, like I said, replaced the front tires, new battery box, put a new clutch in it, or at least I think maybe the flex plate. I don't think we put the pressure plate in it. We just, I tinker around with it here and use it around the property here just to drag down trees or whatever, and we take it to antique show every year. So when I rebuilt the motor, I replaced the water pump, put a new water pump on it, and it leaked. These have a gland nut on them and a packing, so you got to tighten that nut against the packing, which is a graphite rope, and you got to put some grease in it, and it will seal. The packing wouldn't stay tight. No matter what I did, I couldn't keep that packing tight, so I returned that water pump, rebuilt the original water pump, and I can't get it to stop leaking. I think the shaft in the middle is just too worn out. So it's just kind of been like that for a couple of years. When I get done using it, I park it with a funnel and a bucket underneath it so I can catch my antifreeze dripping out and put it back in. Not enough of that, so we're gonna put a new water pump on it, and I got a few other things. This is a new radiator, and it had quite a bit of extra meat right here, and the hood, the grill doesn't tighten up right, the hood doesn't fit right, so we'll cut it. I didn't want to cut it until the warranty was up on the radiator. I think it maybe had a year warranty on it, so I'll cut that piece out so the hood and the grill fit right. We got a few other things. The steering's got a lot of slop in it. I want to replace the fuel line, put the right kind of fuel line on it. Might replace that choke rod that's just bent and twisted, and I don't know. It works, but I just like the one that looks right. And then the PTO is leaking. Get that replaced. I actually use this tractor. The power goes out here. I've got a PTO generator that I can run the house with. It's like a 40,000 watt generator, and this tractor will run that. But that's running the PTO, and it started leaking, so I need to get that sealed back up. And then maybe new rear tires or different rear tires, better rear tires. It's had the same junk rear tires on it since I've owned it, but it'd be nice to get some that aren't quite so weather checked and bad shape. And maybe there might be a few other I've got a list over there, maybe a few other things we do. But the first thing we're going to do is a water pump. Get the water pump off and figure out. I remember this has been a couple of years, but I feel like maybe they have a new style water pump that just has a normal seal in it instead of that packing. And I might look at that and not have to deal with this old style anymore. I mean, it worked forever, hell, this thing's a 44 and the water pump. I'm trying to think if the water pump was already leaking, or probably after I rebuilt it, probably when it started leaking, to be quite honest. I don't remember. I don't know why I decided to rebuild it other than the motor's rebuilt, so I might as well rebuild the water pump. But I don't remember, maybe it was already leaking. It's been a while. So yeah, we'll tear into it, get this water pump off. been a while since I had this apart. I don't remember exactly what I gotta do. I thought this was just a wedge. It comes out of there, yeah. Doesn't want to move. There it went. So there's the wedge pin. I put some anti-seize on that this time before I put it back in. I had it out so many times before that it was never really a problem, but now it's being a struggle. So then, let me see, I think. So you have this piece, springs go here, that wedge piece goes in here, that holds all that on the shaft. And this holds for just being a water pump and the belt tension and all that, there's a lot to it really. So I said it's amazing to look at something that was made in 1944 and how kind of involved some of the stuff is. Kind of really overcomplicated, but you know, they didn't have the kind of sealing technology that we have now with lip seals and that kind of thing for this application. There's this kind of seals, you know, in the brakes for the shafts that come out. For the brakes, there's like lip seals and nose, but as far as where it was going to be getting a lot of wear and heat, I don't think maybe they just didn't have the technology they have now, obviously. 44, that's 80 years ago, right? Get that out of there. All right. So the belt tension on this is actually. Rotate it over now. Oh, probably not. I don't have a fan. So it's a two-part pulley, like a shiv, I guess. So you have your rear part of the pulley, and then you have the front part, and it's actually threaded through the center. So you have to tighten the outer part, or the front part of the pulley, and then it squeezes it together to put tension on your belt. And then it has a little lock nut and a set screw basically to hold it in place. I ran this tractor for years with that thing. The belt was always loose because the lock nut, or the little set screw deal here, was froze. Once I rebuilt the water pump, I got that broke loose. You know anybody that's recently had a puppy that they puppy trained and they have the puppy pads left over? These things make great absorbent pads. I think they're actually expensive to buy, but you know, if you, like I said, if you've had a puppy or house break-in, or you know somebody that has, and they've got a bunch of these pads, yeah, I mean they're made to soak up piss, so obviously they'll soak up antifreeze. So there is a drain on the bottom radiator neck. But it drains right on the front tire, so I pretty much end up with the same exact mess. Either way I go. So I'm just, whatever. It's not gonna hurt to put new antifreeze in it anyway. And that stuff has been in there for almost 30 hours. Good time to replace it, right? Oh yeah, that's what you want. A lot of that is going in a drain pan in a bucket that I got down there. A lot of it's not. Stupid. Belts. Alternator belt. Get this out of here. Get this out of here. Don't remember. I don't remember how to get it out of there. Does the shroud have to come off? Does it go out that way? Maybe it goes out the other way. Guess I'm probably gonna take the alternator off. Alright. One water pump. huge mess. This is the water pump off the Farmall M. I'm going to kind of go over how these are put together, kind of what I couldn't show you there in the video. I couldn't get you in there close enough, but this is the nut here. You tighten that up against the packing to seal inside of here. So that's all. That's your impeller shaft there. So that's your water pump impeller. Goes all the way through. So this is brass, and as you tighten that up, it tightens up against a packing in there. It's like a cord that you wrap around the shaft, and you tighten this in, and then you put a little bit of grease in here to help seal that up. Like I said, I think my shaft is too worn out to seal up anymore. It's got some grooves and stuff in it. So I have ordered a new water pump, and then I was showing you how the outer half of the pulley tightens and loosens. And then that is how you get your belt tension. So then the fan, that's kind of funny. I guess even way back then they knew that there'd be dumbasses working on these, so like me, and it tells you this side out, so that way you don't put your fan on backwards, because it'll go on either way. So that goes on here, and then you've got what they call the drive pins that screw into here. And then it's got these springs, and then you've got this piece here that this wedge come out of. Let's see if I can show you that. So see how it's kind of a wedge shape to it, and then it goes in that slot there, and then there's a flat spot on the shaft here. So you got to get all that lined up when you put this thing together. So that slides over that, and then this would go on one side of this or the other. Like maybe it would go into that side. You'd hammer that in, and then your nut would stick out, and that's what spins the fan. So you got your belts, you got your engine with the belt spinning the water pump. These drive pins spin the fan. Let's see, I'm saying that right. Actually, okay. So the belt spins the pump, spins the pulley. The drive pins through here actually spin the impeller. Yeah, okay. So the way that works, so since this is attached to the fan's attached to the pulley's being spun by the belt. So then through these drive pins, it spins the impeller. So it's just crazy how they, had to come up with all this almost overcomplicate it. And then this is for your alternator. Okay, I have no idea where I just left off. I was over there struggling with my turkey fryer. Let's see. I think we're ready to take it back apart, show you the internals of it. Still don't know what the springs are for. Maybe it just keeps everything tight. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Yeah, so see that shaft is just, it's never gonna seal up. It's galled pretty bad. I don't know why that's not coming out. It's been a while since I messed with this thing. I may be doing it completely wrong. And of course, once again, there's probably a tool for this through IH or wherever, but nobody's used it for the last 80 years. Oh boy, this doesn't want to come out for some reason. Yeah. So I can show you that packing in there. Yeah, see there's the packing. You can get that like at Ace or whatever hardware store. It's what they use in faucets, just graphite rope packing. I'm sure there's probably some Farmall gurus out there that know more about this than I do. I know I looked on YouTube about rebuilding this, but oof, I think that all went to, that looks like that all went to hell on me pretty quick. I think that's how it's supposed to be. But I looked around online and stuff, and you just find you have to put the rope in there and some grease and tighten it up, run it or something, and if it leaks, tighten it a little more. I don't know. I don't remember. Like I said, it's been a couple of years since I've rebuilt this motor, and I've had trouble with the water pump ever since. And I just, this tractor isn't all original, so I don't really care about keeping all original parts on it. I'll hang on to this water pump. It is, I feel like it's definitely an original water pump. I mean, it has the, if I'll be able to show that or not, it has the IH stamp there, and it has an IH stamp here. So it's, got an original pump. Let's put it on the shelf. But yeah, I'd say that was the problem. Something didn't go right there, I'm assuming. So I got the new pump ordered, and we'll wait for it to come in and see if this water pump nightmare can finally be behind me. I think I had that water pump on and off so many times. I don't even know how much gasket. There's still, I guess there's still some gasket here. I feel like I've been more RTV than anything. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this out here so the hood and the grill will fit the way it's supposed to. Yep, just gonna clearance that out right there. What I want to do that with. Alright, see if it did any good. That's pretty good. So now I can actually tighten down. The hood should line up better. That's just got to come in a little bit. Oh yeah. Right there, I got my clearance there, so the lip can actually pull in, and then the hood will lay better, and I'll actually be able to latch it. All right. I don't know how guys ever restore these things and then put them together without just scratching everything. Maybe they're just more careful than I am. I got the water pump painted. Ready to put it back on. Smear some RTV around on this thing. Let's see. A couple of bolts here. There. Almost. Okay, bolts on this side. So So I did a little more research on these water pumps with the packing in them. And yeah, there's a company out there that sells water pumps for these that have a normal seal in it, so you don't have to worry about that packing, but I didn't know that for sure until after I'd already ordered this one and painted it. So I guess with this packing, they say it has to kind of wear in a little bit to seal, so it might leak some first, and then you're supposed to tighten up that packing nut. Which doesn't make any sense to me. So when you bought one of these new from the factory, they were like, hey, you know, your water pump's gonna leak, so we're gonna have to work on it as soon as you buy it. Seems kind of strange. But that was 80 years ago, and maybe that's just how it was. I don't know. Didn't buy a new Farmall M. What? Okay, hose clamps are tight. There. There's that hole, I think. And that hole. And we'll put in the drive pins. This water pump didn't come with those, so if you're ordering a new water pump and you don't have any of this stuff, you'll have to get these drive pins. Oh boy, look what I did. Hopefully I can get that on over the fan and the alternator belt. Should have done it first, but that's all right. Get her on there. Now the not fun part. Just in case you thought we haven't got the fun part in. Just putting this drive piece on. Getting everything lined up. The back of my original one. I don't like the way this one fits. Okay, so those pins must be not exactly straight. So I'll leave them a little bit loose. Put this thing together and then tighten them up. Springs. We got the bolt. The drive bolt that holds all this together. Make sure you've got your shaft lined up with your driver deal here, which might be off just a little. So you can turn this center shaft, the impeller shaft, if you need to get it lined up. Put it in that side, or throw it down there. That might work too. So I thought that this was a homemade deal, but if you find the alternator brackets for these, it kind of looks a lot like this. Maybe they just copied it. I don't know. Whoa. Where are you going? If the washer's on the back side or the front side. I think that's where they were. Oh. Well, that's not good. Tighten this up. There we go. Yes, right here's the jam nut and the set screw. We're going to tighten this outside pulley, loosen it. Maybe it's got to come clean out of there. Yeah, it does. Oh, drop the washer. Ooh. It's got to come all the way out. It's got to. Okay. Yeah. Lo and behold, do stuff the right way and it works out a little easier. So let's go one more groove. Okay. Farmall guys are out there doing. This guy needs to go back to working on John Deere stuff. Leave the Farmalls alone. All right, that easy. I didn't paint any of that. Wasn't really concerned about in here, but could have painted that.